Welcome back. I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Battlesector, and today we'll get started on our multiplayer matchup. We are going to be playing as the Necrons against the Astra Militarum. We're going to be playing the Blackstone map on the Conqueror setting, or objective I guess I should call it. 2,000 points. We have an 80-point target, 8-turn limit, so we'll see if we can shoot apart the armored backbone of the Imperial Guard, or if this player will surprise us with an infantry build or something else, because you're never quite sure on these Conqueror builds what your opponent is going to do, because I find that they usually will do some sort in between. So I have the Overlord here as our HQ commander, so he can increase our movement. I did go with some death marks because I figured they'd be good to help us close the distance and be anti-vehicle. We have the 2 Locust heavy destroyer. We have 4 Praetorians, and then I have 3 Immortals with the Gauss blasters, and then 3 with the Tesla carbines, and 2 Scarab swarms. So hopefully with all those combination of units, I should be able to take out anything that he brings. Now, when you're playing this map, you can have guys up top here, and then you can move them back and forth, and then they'll get into full cover. So that can be very helpful for you. And then we're just going to have our Overlord end up boosting up our movement of all these guys to get them into where they need to be. And then the Scarabs will help us soak up any Overwatches. Now, unfortunately, all of our movements are like the same amount of squares here. So I always find that I end up getting blocked up on this map here. But then I recommend, like, when you're using this Overlord, you just kind of move them around on this first turn and give everybody the increased movement to help you get to where you need to be. Put you over there, get these guys up here, and then we'll just jump to be able to hopefully get our guys into that command victory point location. And let's see, the death marks have a cooldown on their dimensional gate ability. We'll just bring you up to here, and then hopefully the next turn you should be able to help get the movement going too. I think the Locust heavy destroyers would be the ones that are maybe best to get there, to be able to do hit and run tactics. But okay, what do we got? So we got tank commander, we've got 2 Rogel Dorns. So he definitely went with a pretty elite build. My only concern with it being Locust heavy destroyers up top there is that'll have decreased movement, and that could be problematic. I always forget how long that Gauss blaster range is. It's just such a good weapon.
Our duty is tireless.
And I think what I'll do maybe is keep the Praetorians on the flanks, or the sides. That way we can hopefully jump in the following turn and start locking his guys down, and then maybe we can run in there and get the kills with the rest of our infantry, or just lock down the conquest location here. We'll try to keep these guys into cover, so hopefully it'll be harder for them to shoot these guys. And if he decides to send his whole army over to kill them, then they'll be a little bit out of position, and hopefully we can just pick off anybody that is still around. Because I suspect he's going to be forced to have to run down and start getting to some of these locations. Because I don't think you want to give me 2 turns in a row where you're giving me 30 or 15 points a turn, giving me a 30-point advantage. And then we can bring these Scarabs up here. And so now he has to have 2 units, or he has to focus on killing my Scarabs to stop me from getting those points. I can keep you guys behind this obelisk, and if he wants to come over this way, you can shoot into those guys. And then if there's guys coming from the other side, he should have trouble reaching you.
Progressing.
Let's pull these guys over here and try to set up some more Overwatches. I want to try to get the Tesla cannons to be covering the conquest location just in case he does have infantry, and we'll run the Praetorians over this way again to be in some cover. And let's get the death marks up here, set up some more Overwatch.
Heavy fire support.
Alright, get you guys all the way up to here. I guess that means you guys got to get up here too.
Progressing.
Alright, you're Tesla.
Who is next on the list?
So I guess let's just bring you to there.
Artillery.
Since we know he's got Rogel Dorans, that just worries me a little bit. You know, I kind of want to keep them together, because then I can use my Immortal to give him ranged armor. Or not my Immortal, my Overlord.
An endless march.
Let's get you guys over to here. I kind of did that sloppily. I could have had these guys in a much better spot, because now he's going to have pretty shitty hit chances. He needs to be up one more to be able to get good hits. So that was a bit of a mistake. Alright, let's set you up with some Overwatch here. And there. That should work out pretty well. And then hopefully next turn we'll be able to summon in some... where do I want to go? It's like I don't want to be forward one. Kind of go here and try to use that obelisk here. Okay, he's got a Punisher and a Flamer. That's actually really good for us because that means he's going to have to close a lot of distance, which gives us a lot of opportunities to shoot into him. But if he is going to bring those guys down, they can absolutely annihilate our Scarabs. So maybe I'll bring them down to here. And then if he wants to shoot, that Conquest control marker will give us some cover. Let's bring in the Rogel Dorans down to attack us here. Alright, I assume he used the double attacks. Yeah, he gave it to the Rogel Doran. That's what I would have done too, because that should allow him to effectively squad wipe my Praetorians on this side. Hopefully he won't get enough kills to get another round of attacks. Alright, he's driving his Punisher here. This is what we were hoping, so we may actually be able to just totally destroy him. Yep, we did. Nice. So he's down a tank, so that's a huge for us. Okay, he's got a Vanquisher. That's actually bad for us because he'll be extremely effective up there. Bring in the other guy down. Okay. He must have a Basilisk, I guess. I'm surprised he didn't use his Barrage ability. I wonder if maybe it's still on cooldown. Yeah, see, Punisher's just taking those guys out. Now it's neutral again. Alright. So 0 to 0. But that actually worked out well for us, because now that nobody has a zone of control in the center, we don't have to worry about shooting through that obstacle, so that actually increases our accuracy, allowing us to more easily kill these guys. So let's just walk you up here, and this should kill his other Punisher. Nice. So there's 2 Punishers down. Now we just got double Rogel Dorn to deal with, a Basilisk, and a Tank Commander. I think that should be pretty much all of his army. This Vanquisher is going to be a problem, but let's try to take out the Tank Commander. If I can drop him, then he won't have any command point abilities to use. He's out of range, I think. Yep. That's 60. I think we can get this up to 80, because I think it's a 20%. Yep. No, even more. Okay, good. Pull you down to here. Start moving you up. I'm actually a little bit confused why I still have both of my Locust Heavy Destroyers. It looked like he killed 2 models and only one of them can resurrect, so that must be that little Slytherin bug where it's not showing me the real attacks that happened. So stupid. I don't understand how that can even happen, where it like hallucinates these attacks and there's inconsistency. Alright, let's keep dropping him down, because while the Rogel Dorns are very good, they won't have double attacks, and all of their spawns and weapons should be on cooldown for a little bit of time. Alright, well I guess he's not going to have infantry, which means my Tesla cannons are going to be worthless.
Who is next on the list? Heavy fire support.
Alright, well,
Our targets
we
wait.
still have the death marks. Let's get you up to here. And we'll shoot into here. Okay. Work back here.
Yes.
Now I could get you guys to rear attack there.
We serve the Triarch.
Ooh. I can lock down this Vanquisher.
Submit.
Hopefully they'll go behind it, but they're probably going to go in front. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Would have been too cool. But now if he wants to run away, he'll have to expose his rear, and we'll get a zone of control attack. Actually, if I move you up to here, are you going to shoot or no? Yes, you are. It's only 50%, but I just need a little damage for those guys to get the kill.
What?
Alright, since it's a rear attack, I think that should actually be enough to get the kill. Let's see. Nice. Alright, we pretty much got this on lockdown. Guess we'll just move you up here to try to completely harass and lock down that Vanquisher. Because he should be engaged, which should lower his accuracy. And we have the Scarabs, we'll just bring them up to here. Try to lock down this
Immortals awaiting command.
location. And I guess we'll just set up a Tesla Overwatch, but it's not
Who
great.
is next on the list?
And I still have the commander here, so maybe we'll move you up one, summon in some warriors, pull you back a little bit, just hopefully try to keep you alive so you don't get sniped. Because like him, my build only has one HQ commander, and I would like to use our command point abilities. Alright, so he's shooting me. Taking down those Praetorians. Basilisk got the kill. That was actually a mistake to move that, because by moving it he just lost his increased accuracy bonuses there. Because what makes the Basilisks work pretty well is if you don't move them, then they get increased accuracy. Now every once in a while this happens, I don't quite understand why, but it'll block you from being able to actually see the accuracy. It like won't tell you.
Firing. Who is next on the list?
Alright, let's get you over to here. Well, we gotta take one of these Rogaldorns down before they start getting all their side weapons, and this is the one that's got all the momentum gains. So we definitely want to kill him, so he doesn't get another round of attacks on us. Yeah, see, it was going to give us one of those information squares on the other tank, but just for whatever reason, not on this guy.
Firing on target.
Well, it wasn't actually too bad for
Immortals awaiting command.
Tesla.
Firing on target.
Let's try to get through this armor.
Damn it. Alright, well maybe the Warriors can finish it off then. Beautiful. And then I think my Immortals can shoot into this Vanquisher here. Yep, they sure can. because I need to be able to keep my commander safe, the Overlord.
March.
I could warp you down. I think we're in a situation where that would be okay.
Heavy fire support.
Take a hit.
Yeah,
Progressing.
it feels kind of weird for me to want to prioritize killing the Vanquisher over the Rogel Dorn. But
Take a hit.
the Rogel Dorn is just going to be a bullet sponge with a bunch of health
Models awaiting command.
and lots of attacks. Whereas the Vanquisher is pretty much his sniper. And if he wants to just mow down my infantry, then I can get more momentum gains.
Under fire. Under fire.
And then start using command point abilities.
Progressing. Progressing.
This is kind of bad. I'm
Take a hit.
grouping all my guys together. That would be
We are
a
endless.
huge barrage.
The sound of our guns will herald
Target there,
death.
because you know it's going to fire 3 random times in a 3x3
My people.
quadrant, and that means he's got a 50% chance of just hitting me. My units. I could summon scarabs. They're not very damaging to vehicles, but maybe I put this on the Basilisk to try to just harass him a little bit, because the Basilisks actually don't have tons of armor.
Artillery.
And then if I can just lock them down, I can close the distance with my Immortals here.
Immortals awaiting command.
Yeah, we're going to pull these guys out of the range, because I want to have those Gauss blasters to be not get targeted. I don't care so much about the Tesla or the Warriors, because they're not great against vehicles right now. Alright, so let's get you up to here. And then let's summon in the Scarabs here to try to lock down this Basilisk a little bit. Because if nothing else, we can just kind of harass him since he's in the middle.
We've been targeted. We've been
Yeah,
targeted.
so 50 damage, that's not terrible. Let's just bring you around here to get a rear attack if he does try to move. Alright. Yep, he's using the barrage ability. So he hits somebody. Oh. I'm not sure how he attacked it if he would have hit those guys. Alright, yep, killed my Locust Heavy Destroyers. That makes sense. Alright, good. Well, let's just start attacking this Basilisk here. See, this is what makes Scarabs so powerful, and this is why they nerfed them so bad. Is it's like they're meant to be low-tier infantry, and then they just did 100 damage effectively to a tank with doing rear attacks here. So, I don't know what it is about them that allows them to do such high damage output, but you can just imagine the amount of damage that they can do to infantry as well,
Firing on target.
given that they're attacking heavily armored vehicles and doing that much damage with rear attacks. Alright, and then you're a blaster, so if we get you up here, you'll probably just kill the Basilisk. Yeah. So let's get you guys out of there so you don't die when it explodes. Get you guys out of
Heavy fire
here.
support.
And now, we just have to finish off the Rogel Dorn.
Endless march. The sound of our guns will herald their death. Firing.
Let us try to get to this armor.
Alright, well, let's just get everybody over here and shoot into the tank.
Let us try to get to this armor.
Immortals awaiting command. Firing on target.
Let us try to get to this armor.
Yeah, I guess just coming from this way, coming from two different directions is probably best.
Let him try and get to his armor.
Who is next on the list?
Pull you guys back. Keep shooting into him.
Let him try to get to his armor.
Tracking target.
Yeah, these dang Rogaldorns, they're tanking the shots for my whole army. Alright, let's see here. How do I want to do this? I could bring you over here.
Artillery.
You guys can come here. I guess I could bring you over this way. I can't quite, he's so big I can't see what how big the circles are to get an idea of the shot chances here.
Let him try and get to his
Oh, 5 health left. Alright, I think that's all my guys, right?
Our targets wait.
Okay, I got a command point. Let's see if the Scarabs can finish off the Rogaldorn.
Someone knocking at the door.
Nice. And then it blows up the Scarabs and it kind of bugs out the game a little bit. But overall, highly successful victory here for us. So we killed 3 Lehman Russ battle tanks, Basilisk tank commander, and it bugged out the 2 Rogaldorns. Death Marks did well, 80 to 90% accuracy. Locust Heavy Destroyer, pretty disappointing with the 62% accuracy. Praetorians and Immortals all did well, being upper 80s to 90s, so definitely hit above their pay rate there. The other Praetorians, got killed before they got to do anything, so that's kind of disappointing. But once I got those Praetorians into melee, they were pretty much hitting at 100% accuracy. That's funny, the one with Locust Heavy Destroyer was in the 60s for the accuracy, and then the second one has 100% accuracy. So definitely, between the two of them, they averaged out to be with the good shots, but I don't know why the one was such a letdown with his accuracy. But as you can see, the Necrons can really overpower the Astra Militarum pretty overwhelmingly. Most times you'd want to do an elite build because that works out real well. Factions like the Tau and the Blood Angels and the Necrons, obviously you don't want to do that because they have such hard-hitting, armor-piercing ranged units that they can just focus fire you down and just go from unit to unit and wipe them out. And that's effectively what I was able to do here, and then just keeping a little bit of guys in the center to help us get that command point location and get for the Conqueror region, giving us an easy advantage. And then you can use a few Scarabs to soak up overwatches. I get always, I understand why he went with the Basilisk, because even I think like, oh man, the Basilisk against the Necrons, that seems like it would be an excellent ability, because it should be able to just wipe out squads. And if you hit filleted ones or death marks or regular warriors, it'll definitely kill units when it lands its attack, and then it'll almost kill units when it's attacking Immortals and some of the heavier tier units. The problem is you want to just set that Basilisk down and then not move it anymore, so it can start getting more and more stacks of that buffed accuracy, so you can just keep landing attack after attack. And then with the Necrons having options to have such long range units, then they can start getting on and shooting you and using that to your advantage. And then with the random RNG barrage ability, that kind of feels not great because it's not as good as the Exorcist. So I would like to see either the Basilisk become a little cheaper, or maybe even get that heavy bolter attack be like a free attack, kind of like how it is with the Exorcist, since the two cost the same. And then the Exorcist allows you to select the 3 units that you want to attack, and you just do a damage roll for it, compared to the Basilisk, which is just all RNG. Now, I don't think you could let the Basilisk select the 3 units it attacks unless you're going to increase the cost of that unit, because the base damage to the Basilisk is higher than it is with the Exorcist. So you just have to go and make a decision which way you want to be. But right now it's a lot better than it used to be, but it still doesn't quite feel like it's where it should be for the cost, and I really find it to be able to pay for itself. The Vanquisher that he had there, excellent option, especially in the center there, being able to snipe heavily important units, Locust Destroyers, Overlords, all those things are good. And then you can also use your sponsons to land shots. Unfortunately for him, he just had some bad damage rolls, so he was missing some shots there. And then you have to decide, what do you want for your sponsons? I think he went with just the default heavy bolters, which is fine because it still does decent damage against the Necrons. But I think this is a matchup where you could make a decision where if you want to keep them really far at range, maybe using those plasma cannons would be better because they have more armor piercing and also have pretty decent splash. Or you could go with a heavy flamer, and then if guys are trying to jump you like what I did with the Praetorians here, then you could have just heavy flamed them down and then finished them off with your Rogel Dorns and got the kill there and not had to worry about it, and then would have been able to not have your Vanquisher get pinned down like it was. And then the Tank Commander, you know, he did a good job. He's doing the double Rogel Dorn Tank Commander build. I like that too. But when you're playing against the Necrons, you got to have some infantry in there. And I think he would have done a lot better if he would have had a Commissar or two and then had a couple squads of infantry so they could have ran around and soaked up the Overwatch so he didn't get his Punisher killed on that first turn. And it also would have allowed him to start executing his soldiers, and that would have buffed up the tanks that he had around him, because if he had done that, he would have had another round of attacks with his Rogel Dorn when he had the double attacks, because he for sure would have been able to surge, and then he would have been able to totally wipe out those Praetorian squads on the same side that he was on, allowing him not to get jumped, and I wouldn't have been able to kill that Tank Commander that turn, giving him an option to either attack again with the Tank Commander or try to pull him back to keep him alive to be able to use command point abilities. And then the Commissar also would have buffed the ranged crit chances as well, and again that would have significantly increased his damage. And then as the Astra Militarum get more momentum built up, they also have less graze chances, and it just makes them much more effective. So I think that would have greatly helped his effectiveness. The what are they called? Casterkin can work out pretty well against the Necrons, but again, the fact that they don't have anything that's really heavily armored for melee hurts them, because then the Immortals with the Tesla cannon will definitely outshoot them. So it's just a overall bad matchup, and it's very, very challenging to do. The other option you could have done is if you went Chimera heavy, then you could have done some charge attacks in there with dozers to really mess me up, and then unloaded some units to then attack me as well. And then if you had a Psyker, you could drop that Psychic Maelstrom on the Conquest location here, and then if I had any units on there, it would have done damage as well. And then they can also increase the evasion of your attacks, make you immune to any Overwatch attacks, and that would allow you to run in there with that Punisher if you wanted to charge in like that and not have it get killed as well. So there's just, you know, a couple of things that you could have done to make things a little bit easier for you, but definitely you don't want to do a super high tier build like this against the Tau or the Blood Angels or Necrons, because this is going to be the result of that, because they can just counter that build so well. So with that, I hope this was enjoyable and gives you some tips. I'm not sure if the other player will see this video or not, but I just wanted to give some feedback there. And I was a little sloppy with the movements. I think probably having the what are they called, death marks be on the top of that area made the most sense over the Locust Heavy Destroyers, because then I can also use that not webway gate, dimensional gate, to warp them around and then get them into better angles like what we did at the end. So I think that's probably the best way to do. So if I would have played this match again, or if I played this match again, I would have moved them in there, because they would have better accuracy too. And then again, you get to the top, you attack, and then you pull them down a square or two, and then having that forward movement will allow you to do that, and just keep doing hit and run, and then you'll be in either partial or full cover depending on how many stairs you go down, and that can allow you to really harass your enemy very effectively. So I hope that helps and gives you some tips on this kind of matchup. And if you were, for whatever reason, struggling with the Necrons versus the Astra Militarum, this is a good build that you can use to help you. Now, the Tesla cannons definitely didn't pay off for us this match, but again, most players are going to have some infantry mixed in there, and those Gauss Heavy Blasters, while they will certainly kill a lot of infantry, you need to use those Tesla to really just liquidate them so you don't waste too many shots taking out those 9 to 10 models that are in that squad. So with that, I'm going to call it quits here for the day. I hope you're enjoying these videos. If you are, please give my channel a like and subscribe. Encourage me to post more content for you. Have a great day.